I have a question for you. What would you do if a deaf person came into your business or wanted to be part of Small Business Saturday? I'm Sarah Gatford and I bridge the gap between deaf and hearing people. I do this through my work as a consultant, trainer and British Sign Language English interpreter. I work with many different organisations and businesses. So now I want you to imagine that you are that deaf person and you want to communicate with a business. How would you feel? I have some statistics for you. 1 in 6 of us have some level of hearing loss. There are 11 million deaf and hard of hearing people in the UK. There are 8.3 million hard of hearing people. There are 900,000 severely or profoundly deaf people. And it's predicted by the year 2035 that there will be 15.6 million deaf and hard of hearing people in the UK. It's estimated that there are around 50 to 70,000 deaf British Sign Language users in the UK. That's a huge number of people who are potentially missing out on services due to a lack of awareness on the part of businesses and organisations. As a BSL English interpreter, Derby is a great place to be based as it has the largest deaf community outside of London. I qualified in the year 2000, however things started to change in around 2013. Agencies started taking over contracts and as a result my interpreting business was suffering. In a moment of desperation I googled business coach and my local chamber came up as the top answer. I made an appointment with a business coach who, after a long chat, reminded me of the reason I do what I do and the value that my skills and knowledge add. I now pride myself on building the trust of businesses I work with and offer a tailored personal service focusing on consultation, training and interpreting. It seems there's a fear factor when it comes to engaging with deaf people. And because of this fear, people shy away from engaging because they don't know how to and they are afraid to do anything or ask because they don't want to cause offence. You might think you need to sign to communicate with a deaf sign language user. It's a bonus, if you can, but what you can do is make eye contact and smile. You might think that all deaf people communicate in the same way. They don't. So what you can do is ask them how they'd like you to communicate with them. Communication is key. It's what reduces isolation and loneliness. If a blind person walks into a business, people will talk to them. If a deaf person does the same, they don't. This is where my Small Business 100 pledge can help. My plan, if successful, would be to develop a longer campaign trail launched with Small Business 100 and Small Business Saturday. Perception changes take time and can't be achieved in one day. I have 100 tips which will be shared in the lead up to Small Business Saturday. On Small Business Saturday itself, I'll run a workshop alongside deaf colleagues focusing on the top 10 actions businesses can take to be more deaf friendly. This will take businesses from knowing nothing or very little to knowing at least 10 more things than they did when they arrived. Both deaf and hearing people there will have the opportunity to share experiences and allow them to talk firsthand, sharing tips on what makes a good deaf-aware business. Engaging with deaf people makes economic sense. They can't spend their money with businesses that are inaccessible. Being part of a Small Business 100 and Small Business Saturday, we can work together to bridge that gap.